How's it going, everyone? We're here to check out the top skins this week, and if you're new, just so you figure it out, these skins are not in the game yet. They may never make it in the game. Only 8 to 10 skins are picked by the game's lead dev and creator Helk every week, and then the rest pretty much get skipped on or, moves along to the next week. So, starting out, we always start with my personal top 10 choices, and jumping in, we've got ourselves some hoodies and pants. And the first one up is going to be the Road Police set by Robstar. And this is just one of those sets that is just with incredible detail. It has a military look to it. You've got it's more than SWAT. Road Police. Man, this is just, they're all armored up. And I think it's a really good looking set, and it's a dark color, so a lot of people will like it for that. It's mostly all blacks with some grays, and the few colorful bits aren't too colorful. Next up, we've got the Summer Shark cosplay by Milo, and all the cosplay sets pretty much come from Milo. There's a few that don't, of course, but he's, known as that cosplay set person. And as you can see, there's just incredible detail again here. The actual flowers look like they're popping up. It looks like a pocket with sunglasses. You can see the water droplets on it. I mean, it's just one of those kind of things. And then you got the goofy shark with the fin. There's even a grass skirt included, but yeah, it's just one of those things where it just has the details again that pop. It's not just flat, and this is what really makes the difference between a great skin and a good skin. Next, we've got our deployables, and it's the stone container box up first, and this is just a really nice box. It looks like it's an open top, and it's piled full of stones. It's labeled nicely for stone, and it's lit up nicely as well. This is one of those things, they've done a good job. It's sculpted, it fits the game, and it's just something nice and unique. Over here, we've got ourselves a really cool furnace. It's the UFO abduction furnace, and when it turns on, the UFO lights up, and all of this random stuff just starts to get sucked on up. There's an airdrop, a bike, you've got the heli, there's train, there's guns, and even a player, all being beamed on up, which is just really fun. Then over here we've got ourselves a garage door, and it is the "This is fine" garage door. Everyone should know the meme, and it's just one of those things, and it's quite fun that they actually also went and talked to the original meme creator and got their permission to do this as well, which is quite cool. And it's just a really nice thing. It's got the layers. I like how the flames are kind of like the scrap metal on the outside, and it just really has nice layers going on. So let's go ahead and take a look at the glow. Definitely very fun. Then we've got our UFO, like the little underwater scene, underwater scene, as I was saying, going on there. You got labs and everything. And then we have very nice glow on the box as well. Alright, first up for our tools and weapons, we've got some rocks for you. And as you can see, we've got the rock pineapple right here. And yeah, it's a very nice little detailed pineapple. And it's just one of those things, rocks, when they're unique, sell really, really well. This one's well done. Diaz did a good job, and I think everyone would really enjoy a little pineapple rock. Then we've got ourselves another food rock for you, and this one's a giant pistachio. This one's brought to us by Ideal, and yeah, it's just really well done. Seen several different nut rocks, and I think this cracked pistachio is definitely a fun and really well done one. Moving to our top choice for guns, we've got ourselves a very future-y looking Thompson. It's the Laser Thompson by MDE, and it just has a very kind of retro future look to it, which I think just fits the Thompson really well. And I could see a lot of people really liking this one. It has nice little green dots for some kind of a little bit of a sci-fi look to it to complete that retro futurism. Aiming down the sights, you've got chrome on chrome, and there we go for that reload. Last but not least, we do have the Royal Safari LR. This one's just kind of a no-brainer. You should all be pretty familiar with this set, and it's just really well done. It's got that kind of reflective property where depending on how the light hits it, it can become darker or lighter, and just that gold and black has been very popular with everyone. Aiming down the sides here, you do have that black against the gold, of course, and there is that reload. So that's going to do it for our top 10. Let's go take a look at all the other awesome skins that have been submitted for this week. Alright, first up we've got burlap head wrap and booties for you, and it is the heavy stone set. We've seen some pieces of this and the whole thing just really looks like actual stone, and I don't know if that's maybe why the previous pieces haven't made in, because they are sculpted pretty well, but it is kind of a strange look for clothing to look like it's made out of solid stone, but we have like gold stuff and rainbow stuff, so hey, you know, I think this deserves a fair chance too. Next, we have a fun little burlap head wrap and poncho combo for you, and the whole thing is made out of an old worn soccer ball. It's called the Football Fanatic set, and yeah, I just love how they did this. It really just looks like, you know, something really cobbled together in the world of Rust, and just fits so perfectly. Next, we've got a continuation with the Reptile Hunter. We've got the bandana and hide poncho here. So we've seen various iterations of this set and come through, and a few pieces have made their way in, but it is definitely nice to see another submission. Next, we have the Mob Boss hoodie and pants. So we've seen the other little pieces make their way in, so maybe we'll see this hoodie and pants. Definitely has kind of like an older suit look to it. You even have a little chain going across the front there. And yeah, it does still have a hood on the back. I think maybe they should have gotten rid of the hood. But hey, one way or another, definitely one I could see making its way in as we've seen the other pieces. Next, we've got the Knife Thrower set. And yeah, I mean, they have knives, and they like knives, and there's knives. And there's knives with their knives on their knives with their knives. Even the hoodie has knives on knives. So I think maybe they like knives. There's also a gold chain. Next, we've got a continuation of the Kevlar set with the Legacy Kevlar jacket. And man, this thing looks so puffy. They really made the jacket look huge. I think Kosum did a good job on this, and the Legacy set did have quite a bit of popularity as it was going in, so hey, do you think a revival could happen? Moving on to high qual, we've got the Order of the Invincibles set for you. It has a very kind of Greek look to it, I would say. Then we have the Cursed Arnhem set for you. Definitely has kind of like an insecty feel, especially with like kind of like this bits here. Definitely has a nice little unique look to it as well, especially kind of with the face. Definitely, I like the sculpting to it. It's very different, you know? Then next we have the Ditto High Qual. This has been a set where almost every piece has made its way in. We have yet to see any kind of clothing or armor. So, hey, maybe this high qual set will make its way in and be the accepted armor. Definitely think it's translated really well onto this, and I think a lot of people would like it. Lastly, we have the Medieval set. It comes in a regular and a dark version, and I believe this is the darker version. So there you have that. It's a nice little kind of design. Has kind of that ancient, more European medieval look to it. Definitely well done. Alright, so moving on to our deployables, we've got some sleeping bags. First one here is going to be the Cobalt Farms sack of potatoes. And as you can see, the potatoes are falling out, and you can go ahead and have a nice little sleep on a bunch of lumpy potatoes in a itchy potato sack. Moving along, we've got a continuation in the Beyond Reason set with a sleeping bag with a very creepy, angry looking moon going on there. Then our next one here, we've got the Daimika Kura sleeping bag. I think I'm saying that right. And yeah, well, you know what? They took a style and they added Rust to it. And we'll just go with that there. There's going to be some of you that hate this, and there's going to be some of you that love it. Moving on, we've got some small boxes. The first one's going to be the Wok wood storage, and as you can see, it's got noodles cooking and all set to go with some utensils strapped to the side. Then our next small box is going to be part of the Evolved set. It's version 2, and yeah, it's just everything from the set, moss, a little bit of caution tape, and some graffiti. Then we've got a crusty old box for you with the Cozy Large Box version 2. Retro Meds box by Legacy. Definitely has that retro futurism vibe going on. Then over here we've got a more tech looking box with the Mecha box. Then we've got some space stuff for you with the large galaxy box. Also like how it's not just flat, there's some sculpting there, you know? We've got a single furnace for you, the Banana Furnace by Chris, and it's a slightly peeling banana furnace complete with browning spots. Moving on to our rugs, we've got a styrofoam rug for you. Then we've got some bubbly stuff with the bubble rug. It comes in 2 versions. Then we've got the saturated paint rug. And last but not least, a angry little dark matter rug. Moving along to our doors, our first one up is going to be the Moon Oni. Moving along, we've got an ancient tiger with the Jungle King. The Dino Door, Cyclops Door, Dark Beauty, Deep Swamp. Then we got ourselves the Metal Far East Double Door. We've got a garage door that looks like bent blinds, and it's simply called blinds. As you can see, there's definitely a very big little see-through transparency there. Moving along, we've got a continuation of the concentric set with the garage door. It definitely has a very nice armored look to it, and a very important glowing roller. Then over here we got the Hippie Vibes garage door, followed by the container sheet garage door. This comes in 2 versions actually, I believe. Yeah, oh, is this glow and not glow? There isn't a transparency. Never mind. Then the no signal garage door. Cryptic Roots garage door. Evil Sun garage door, man. Yep. Cursed Gaze garage door, nice little Medusa there. And then we have a modular protection garage door, which looks like a bunch of little like tied together little you know, those little plastic rubber sheets in kids play areas kind of thing. And then over here we've got 2 armored doors for you. The first one is going to be the anti-riot armored door. And then we have ourselves the speakeasy armored door. Alright, and if we take a look at our glow, important to note, glowing roller, lit up slightly roller, there's that glowing roller, no glow there. I like how they're all dead now and there's lava. That's actually really funny. We got a little glowing dark matter rug. Then we can cruise on over to the furnace. Whole banana lights up, as you can see. Definitely some beautiful glow on these boxes. And lastly, we've got that sleeping bag. Alright, so moving on to tools and weapons. First off, we've got a hammer for you, and it's Mjolnir, the Saga of the North. That's quite a name, I'd have to say. And then, of course, it does have a glow, so we can check out those nice little runic symbols. Moving on, we have a rock for you, and it is the Milestone Rock. Then moving along, we've got a single metal tool set for you, the Mad Dog set. We also had the Quarantine set, but those made it in this week and are in the store currently. Definitely has some nice little carving done on this set. Moving on, we've got ourselves a Python for you. This one's called the Fidget Blaze Python. There you go, quite a name. Definitely has a nice little mix of colors, lots of scribbles. Aiming down the sights, you do have a red tip. And there we go for our reload. Then, moving on, we've got a Thompson here for you. As you can see, it's got some very kind of sharp, I would say, design to it, really. And this is the Lattice Thompson version 2. Aiming down the sights, you kind of just have that same kind of golden bronze-ish kind of color going throughout. And then our next Thompson is going to be the Ronin Thompson. Definitely part of a very popular set by Bad Trip. Could easily see this one popping its way into the shop, as it's been very popular, as I said. Gonna keep saying popular, popular. As you can see, for the sights, we do have red on red. And there's that reload. Next, we've got a continuation of the heater set with the Thompson. I think this translated nicely to it. This set does look like it glows, but it doesn't, so it's one of those things that won't give you away. We've also seen some pieces from the set make it in, so maybe this one will this week. You can see it's got a kind of, looks like a glowing tip, but it isn't. It's just continuing with that molten theme. Then moving on, we've got some MP5s. First one's going to be the iridescent green. Depending how the light hits it, the green kind of changes. And yeah, it just kind of has more of a rustier look to it. Aiming down the sights, you do have green, green, green going on. Next up, we've got a exhausted MP5 for you. And yeah, this one has some sculpting and some kind of like light purples to it, I think, which make it look kind of different from a lot of other MP5s. Aiming down the sights, you do have a very unique looking kind of oil slick kind of shimmering to it, and a nice red tip. Then moving on, we've got ourselves some more MP5s. If I could just get the right one to go. Getting a little bit of lag there. The Red Code MP5, not to be confused with Code Red. Aiming down the sights here, you do have a nice red tip. Next up, we have the Chameleon MP5, not to be confused with Chameleon, and it's got a kind of like a nice shimmery thing kind of going on to it as well. Kind of like same thing that kind of like an oil slick, how depending on how the light hits it, you can see a little bit of different colors. It also has a very different stock. As you can see, it's very cut. Aiming down the sights, you do have a red tip as well to go along with it. Lastly, we have the Sensei MP5, and yeah, it just kind of has like a dirty white kind of paint, flat white paint look going to it. Aiming down the sights, you do have very cut sights with a white ring and a red tip. Moving on to our rifles this week, our first one's going to be a semi-auto for you, and I believe it's our only semi-auto this week. It is the WarTech SAR version 2. This is the stockless version. Aiming down the sights here, you can see it has kind of the orangey polymer against the black there. So moving up, we now have our AKs for the week, and you've got the Chroma AR. This definitely has a nice little effect. You can see it almost gets golds, greens, and yellows depending on how the light hits it. Aiming down the sights, you also have a little bit of a shimmer to the sight. And there we go for our reload. Next, we've got the Star Scourge AR. This definitely has a really cool kind of sculpted look. Kind of has that kind of like mysticism, kind of, I don't know, maybe evil magic kind of thing going on. Aiming down the sights, there's a nice little lilac-y purple tip to it. Moving along, we've got something very different. It's the Alien Strategy AR. And it's definitely playing on the Alien Relic, you know, custom a bit, but it did a little bit of its own thing. I think it might be a little too future techy for Hulk, but who knows. Aiming down the sights here, you do have that blue against the white. Next up, we've got a kind of American style tattoo kind of art with the Fatalistic AK-47 by Andre. It's got some nice gold highlights on a nice matte black background, even some leather on the grip and the mag. Aiming down the sights, you've got some nice golden sights and a nice art rose. Next up, the Animarium AR for you, and yeah, this has just got all sorts of kind of twisty gold designs and everything. I think you stare at it long enough, it will maybe have something going along. Aiming down the sights, you do have a golden horseshoe and gold, gold, gold along with it. Next we have the block out AR, and yeah, it's a all black AR, but it's a blocky design. Har har. Aiming down the sights, more blockiness. Does look a little bit weird from that angle, I do have to say. Next we've got the crime AR, and it's just a solid dark black AR with some carbon fiber grip and do not cross crime scene tape. Aiming down the sights, you do have a green and red tip against the black. And there's that reload. Then we've got something very bling bling. It's the timeless AK-47 by Fi, and it's gold and diamond. Where you've got no gold, there's diamond, and where there's no diamond, there's gold. Aiming down the sights, you do have what looks like glow tips. They're not. You just got green and red dots. Moving on, we've got ourselves the white core AR. As you can see, this one here has the little like flaps of snow camo, just basically going over an old beat up rust AK. Aiming down the sights here, it's all just kind of gray and gray. Then we've got ourselves the Vengeful Spectre AK-47. This comes in a red and a purple. As you can see, the purple here, you can always check out the alternate versions down in the workshop link, which I always have in the description of my video. Aiming down the sights here, you do have a blue tip and a creepy eye. Alright, moving on, and we've got many AKs for you this week. We've got the Blockchain AK-47. And yeah, this definitely has a nice kind of like 8-bit design with the flaming skull and the purples and blues. Aiming down the sights, you do have a nice little purple tip. A kind of like Space Invaders looking kind of critter thing there. And moving on, we've got the Purple Nebula AK. This has a kind of little almost virusy design on it. It's got all these kind of creepy, well, actually, yeah, nebulas, there you go. And it actually also glows. Now, there is a version that doesn't glow, but it definitely really looks cool. And the sights, I think that might count as a glow sight, so I think the glow version, that's just any glow up towards the sights, even if it's not the tip, full tips, I think that's too much. So, I mean, this one probably won't get in if it's a glow version, but hey, still cool to see. Next on, we've got the Deep Ruby AK-47, and this one just is very cool. As you can see, it just looks like the whole AK is a solid gem, basically. Aiming down the sights, you've got blue and blue glistening on blue. Last but not least, we've got the Heat Injector LR, and this one is also very cool. It's got a nice carved industrial look, very clean, and it also has a glowing version, which is very cool. And yeah, I just think this one looks neat. I hate how glowing skins give you away at night, but just man, they did a good job. Aiming down the sights, unfortunately there isn't too much going on. I wish maybe they put a little bit of that orange in the ring or the tip maybe. But that's gonna do it, everybody. Sound off down in the comment section below which ones you are hoping to make their way into the shop this week the most and why. As always, I love hearing the feedback. If you have any that's not for me, I'll get to the right people, and stay rusty.